everybody back to session 3 of our Eat Well Cooking Club for Better Health. I'm Del Cain. I'll be the facilitator, moderator today. Everyone is familiar with my background. Very briefly, I'm the director of Advocates for Community Wellness. I'm a nutrition specialist. I'm also a certified plant-based nutrition cooking coach. I've completed certification in plant-based nutrition program, have over 18 years of experience in health promotion and disease prevention, coordinating wellness and culinary programs throughout the city. And I'm the former Illinois State Cooking Matter Program Coordinator, which is a national nutrition education and cooking program for children and families. This program is brought to you, this is our second quarter, of our collaborative partnership, and that's between Advocates for Community Wellness and Stonebridge Healthy Community Outreach Initiative. Both organizations are nonprofit. Advocates, we're a faith-based, non-denominational, holistic health promotion ministry without walls. That means that we go out into the community. We go to workplace. We go into the churches, the park districts, the schools, into the community. And we're pleased that we went virtual. So now we're coming to you in the comfort of your own home. Advocates, our primary goal is promoting health and nutrition education and awareness program on the relationship between diet, health, and chronic disease. Stonebridge was formerly known as Stonebridge Diabetes Support Group. Their main purpose was to bring awareness, prevention, and restoration of lifelong health solutions for diabetes and other chronic conditions to families and communities. Our common mission is improving eating habits for healthier lifestyle and increased longevity. We have 3 main goals. 1, to increase consumptions of vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, and we certainly hope that we're doing that. 2, to encourage a more nutrient-rich diet plan for better health and to reduce risk factors of chronic disease and illnesses. And 3, to attain a healthier weight through consumptions of plant-based nutrition and cutting back on some of the other foods that comes from the SAD diet. Our presenters today is Karen Bryce, our nutritionist, and Chef M. Karen is the founder of Keystone Educational Corner. She's the author of 2 books, Exquisite Cuisine Cookbook and Winds of Change. She's a bilingual Spanish licensed nutritionist and consultant. She has a bachelor's degree in nutrition and a master's degree in education. She's licensed by the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago to administer food safety and sanitation classes. She's also licensed by the Red Cross to teach CPR and first aid classes. Chef M.
Hello, everyone. I am Chef M. I'm the chef director of Cooking Canvas. I've always been very passionate about food and freshly prepared meals and feeding others. I studied culinary arts at Le Cordon Bleu School of Culinary Arts in Chicago. My primary focus with my culinary career has always been developing menus, fresh food, meal plans, and catering services. I have a strong goal to show others just how easy it is to prepare and eat and enjoy delicious and nutrient-rich food. I also have, that has actually led me to a partnership with Stonebridge Healthy Community Outreach Initiative, where I serve as their volunteer executive administrator. Thank you. I look forward to cooking with you all.
All righty. What our topic is about, we were celebrating and acknowledging Minority Health Awareness Month. And our focus, I would say that we know what the problems are, but we don't hear enough about the solutions. And one of the solutions is nutrition. And so we wanted to focus on supercharge your immunity system with nutrition. One, we are focusing on nutrition and immunity because we're still in a pandemic, although it appears to be getting under control. But they're always talking about these waves coming, with increases in dips. So the one way that we can help to protect ourselves, even if we contact it, is to have a strong immune system that could ward off and fight off the viruses for having and doing just havoc within our body, as we have seen demonstrated throughout the news media about the pandemic. Okay, and so a little disclaimer, waiver and consent. The information presented in this program by advocates and its partners is intended for educational purpose only. It's not intended to replace the advice of any medical doctor or other healthcare professional with whom you consult. The instructors, we share the information about their training and credentials in reference to the nutrition, although this time we're really just focusing on actual food, but anytime, even with the recipes that we may provide and you may prepare, is that you need to take your own health into consideration, and that there are some common allergens, and you want to consume full responsibility of modifying the recipes as needed for your own personal health. And the recording, all our Zoom sessions are recorded. By participating in the cooking club, you give us permission to film, photograph, video, and audio recording is being made. You can turn on or off your camera and audio at your discretion anytime during the session.
So we are doing the learning objectives, and the first one is learning about vitamin C and D foods. The next one will be the benefits of vitamin C and D, and lastly, how these vitamins work in the body. So let's start with foods that are high in vitamin C. Oranges have a 78% daily value, strawberries a 54% daily value, kiwi 71%, grapefruit 43%, bell peppers a whopping 106%, very nice and high. Broccoli 57%, Brussels sprouts 53%, cabbage 31%, cauliflower 29%, chili peppers 121%. These peppers are high. Grapefruit and guava 413%. That is super duper high. So that's the guava fruit. Kale 89%, lemons 49%, mango 67%, papayas 106%, sweet potatoes 65%, and tomatoes 19%. What is vitamin C? Vitamin C is one of the most beneficial vitamins around. Its versatile benefits work on many areas of the body and the health system. It is also known as ascorbic acid. Vitamin C is naturally found in vegetables and fruits and is hugely beneficial for things like heart disease, protection against free radicals in the body, the absorption of iron, and reducing cholesterol levels. For adults over 19, the recommended daily allowance of vitamin C is 75 milligrams for women and 90 milligrams for men. Pregnant and breastfeeding women require a slightly higher percentage. One standard serving of sweet potatoes, which is about 3.5 ounces, will give you 47% of your daily recommended dose. Other benefits of vitamin C. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant that can strengthen your body's natural defenses. Antioxidants are molecules that boost the immune system. They do so by protecting cells from harmful molecules called free radicals. When free radicals accumulate, they can promote a state known as oxidative stress, which is linked to many chronic diseases. So studies have shown that consuming more vitamin C can increase your blood antioxidant levels by up to 30%. And this helps the body's natural defenses fight inflammation. Benefits of vitamin C as well. It may also help manage high blood pressure. Approximately 1/3 of American adults have high blood pressure. High blood pressure puts you at risk of heart disease, which is the leading cause of death globally. Studies have shown that vitamin C may help lower blood pressure in both of these with or without high blood pressure. An animal study found that taking a vitamin C supplement helped relax the blood vessels that carry blood from the blood vessels and carry it from the heart, which helped reduce blood pressure levels. Moreover, an analysis of 29 human studies found that taking a vitamin C supplement reduce systolic blood pressure, which is the upper value, by 3.8 mmHg, and diastolic blood pressure, the lower value, by 1.5 on average in healthy adults. In adults with high blood pressure, vitamin C supplements reduce systolic blood pressure by 4.9 mmHg and diastolic blood pressure by 1.7 on average. Also, number 3, the benefits of vitamin C. It may lower the risk of heart disease. Heart disease is the leading cause of death worldwide. Many factors increase the risk of heart disease, including high blood pressure, high triglycerol, or the LDL, the bad cholesterol levels, and the low levels of HDL, which is the good cholesterol. Vitamin C may help reduce these stress factors, which may reduce heart disease risk. For example, an analysis of 9 studies with a combined 293,172 participants found that after 10 years, people who took at least 700 milligrams of vitamin C daily had a 25% lower risk of heart disease than those who did not take a vitamin C supplement. Interestingly, another analysis of 15 studies found that consuming vitamin C from foods, not supplements, was also linked to a lower risk of heart disease. However, scientists were unsure whether people who consumed vitamin C-rich foods also followed a healthier lifestyle than people who took a supplement. Thus, it remains unclear whether the differences were due to vitamin C or other aspects of their diet. Another analysis of 13 studies looked at the effects of taking at least 500 milligrams of vitamin C daily on the risk factors for heart disease, such as blood cholesterol and triglyceride levels. This analysis found that taking a vitamin C supplement significantly reduced the bad cholesterol, which is the LDL, by approximately 7.9 milligrams over DL, and blood triglycerides by 20.1 milligrams over DL. The fourth benefit, it may reduce blood uric acid levels and help prevent gout attacks. Gout is the type of arthritis that affects approximately 4% of American adults. It's incredibly painful and involves inflammation of the joints, especially those of the big toes. People with gout experience swelling and sudden severe attacks of pain. Gout symptoms appear when there's too much uric acid in the blood. Uric acid is a waste product produced by the body at high levels. It may crystallize and deposit in the joints. Interestingly, several studies have shown that vitamin C may help reduce uric acid in the blood and as a result protect against gout attacks. For example, a study including 1,387 men found that those who consumed the most vitamin C had significantly lower blood levels of uric acid than those who consumed the least. Another study followed 46,994 healthy men over 20 years to determine whether vitamin C intake was linked to developing gout. It found that people who took a vitamin C supplement had a 44% lower gout risk.
All right. Now we're going to transition into our next segment, Cooking with Chef M. This is going to be the dessert menu.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
Go ahead, Chef.
I was going to say that, yes, today we are going to focus on desserts because I know as part of a healthier lifestyle, we still have a sweet tooth. And so I'd like to show you some things that you can definitely enjoy. So we have a very berry ice cream, a chocolate mousse tartlet, and then also some chocolate chip cookies. And all of these recipes, again, I'm featuring recipes from the African American vegan starter kit. So these can be found in there. So I'm going to make this very quick. So we have 3 very delicious desserts that I'm going to show you very quickly because none of them take very long. Cookies are always a really fast and easy treat. And then also this tartlet, the longest part about the tartlet is that it needs to set. And so that needs to go into the refrigerator for a little bit. And then the very berry ice cream, that one, the longest part is freezing the fruit. But if you buy frozen fruit, a little cheap, you can definitely save yourself some time on that. So we're going to get started with this, the chocolate mousse tartlet. Okay, move this out the way. So for my chocolate mousse tartlet, so I have some pitted dates, and then I have 1 cup of pecans and 1 cup of macadamia nuts. So this is going to be my crust. So I'll just put all of this together into my food processor because I want it to come out to almost a paste. And if you don't have a food processor, you can certainly use your blender. Food processor just works a little bit better on the harder items. Now I will just take some of this and press it into my tart molds. So I'm going to take probably about two heaping tablespoons, if you guys can see this. And you can certainly cut this recipe down or even make them all and freeze them. You can definitely, have a treat for later. And I know, I've spoken before about how I generally try not to do anything with nuts or fish. However, because of allergies in my household. However, due to this just being, such a delicious treat and using the recipes from the vegan starter kit, I wanted to share this with you all. Because I'm one that really loves chocolate. I don't know if anybody else does, but I really, really love chocolate. So
I do.
Yeah.
Chef M, would you consider substituting that with graham crackers, organic graham crackers, instead of the nuts as the crust?
I definitely would. Because, again, like I said, we have allergies in my house and they're pretty significant. So even though you guys don't know my kids are normally here, they're not here today because they're the allergy havers. Well, actually just my daughter. And so I'm gonna press down this crust just to make it nice and compact, kind of like when you pack brown sugar. I don't know if any of you have ever cooked with brown sugar, but just to pack it down a little bit. And you can see how even or uneven it is as well, and change that if you need to. So the dates kind of form somewhat like a glue to keep all of these nuts together. And I will admit, I considered doing some modifications, but I didn't want to modify anything in the recipe, given that I was showing you the recipe. Now for the filling, we have some cocoa powder, and that I'm going to put into my blender. We have some cocoa powder, some 2 nice sized avocados, and then some maple syrup. That's going to be our sweetener, and then also just a little bit of vanilla. I already put the vanilla into the maple syrup. It just makes prepping a little easier. So I'm going to put this cocoa powder on the bottom. And then I'll add in my maple syrup and vanilla. And this recipe also calls for just a little coconut water, and that's kind of just to thin it out just a little bit if you need it. And now, when selecting avocados, you want them so that they feel kind of fleshy. You don't want them when they're like rock hard. You want them to feel like they're like ready to eat, kind of like peaches and things like that. So if you guys can see, my nice green avocados. And so I sliced these around, just took my knife, edged it around, and then I stuck the knife in to pop out the seeds. That's the easiest way to do an avocado. And then I'm just gonna get a spoon and plop these avocados. I'm gonna cut it up just a little bit. Pop these avocados into my blender. And I don't know about you, but I love avocado. So I will be very interested to see how yummy it tastes in this chocolate dish.
Those avocados are beautiful. I usually do
Thank
avocado.
you. I thought so too, and I was so
Mhm.
excited when I saw them at the store. I was like, oh yes. Although
Yeah.
I did have to play with them. I did have to play with a few. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not
You
right.
usually
It's
do
not
have
right.
to squeeze and touch an avocado. I usually eat my avocados in the morning, sometimes every now and again with my vegan eggs for breakfast. It's delicious.
Yes, I know lately I've been making myself avocado toast, and it is very delicious. And I'll just get some wheat bread, some actually whole grain bread, and toast it and then smear my avocado on. All right, and excuse me, I just want to get this all blended. And you gotta love it when your blender works the way you want it to, which mine is not doing right now. So I'm just gonna make sure that it's off. I had a friend use one of my blenders and it got stuck. She didn't make sure it was off. She opened it up, got it unstuck. I wasn't there because I definitely would have stopped her. And then everything started shooting out.
What about your Cuisinart, Chef M?
I'm sorry.
What about you and your Cuisinart? Would that do it?
I'm sorry, say that again. If you use a Cuisinart?
Uh-huh. If you put the stuff in the blender in your Cuisinart and blended it up, would that do it?
Yeah, you can use anything to blend it, but the blender she was using happened to be it was a Cuisinart model.
Okay.
What brand of blender do you have? Because it is so quiet. It's really, I can hardly hear it when you
Really
when you
loud.
blend.
You guys.
Pardon me? Others when I hear their blender is like blasting.
I hear my blender blasting. This is an oyster.
Okay.
Oh, it's getting really nice and clean too. I don't know if you guys can see that. You think this is quiet? This is really loud to me.
Well, over the Zoom is not. At least on my end.
Say that again.
No,
I
it's
said, at
quiet.
least on my end, I can
I
hardly
thought it
hear
wasn't
it.
working. I thought it wasn't working. It was so quiet.
And I said that they said to add a little coconut water, and I forgot. That's what it needs. More liquid. I forgot.
Has anyone prepared a dessert with avocados?
I have. I've done a chocolate mousse and put it in a clear cup with berries or yogurt as a parfait without the crust. So I like this version with the individual crust. It looks like it's going to be wonderful.
You said with berries and what else?
Granola
Oh, that sounds yummy.
and yogurt.
Is a layering or blending together?
Yes,
Karen,
it is.
are you
It's
layering it or are you blending it together?
Oh, I'm sorry. Nope. So I layered it
Okay.
in the clear cup, so it was like a layered parfait.
Oh, it's the parfait. Okay.
Parfait, correct. And it looked really pretty with the layers.
Mm.
All right. Can you guys see
Yes.
That looks
how
good.
nice and creamy this is?
Mhm.
So now I'm just going to pour it out over my tart.
Now, Chef M, I know you had made reference to a particular recipe book. Is that available online?
It is
American.
available online. We can also send them out from Stonebridge. We can also send them to you, but they are available online through any greens necessary.
Okay, and is that free? Is that free at no cost?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I'll find the link to
The
that.
link is actually included in the sources for the recipes that I sent you.
Oh, okay, okay. So
The
we
links
should
for
have
all
that.
of the links for all of these recipes are included in the recipes that I sent you.
Okay, so we should have that. I know I have a copy of it, but I know you had mentioned it a couple of times.
Yeah, they and I'm just gonna make sure that they're all nice and even. They yeah, all of the links are that recipe book that I sent you, Dale. I don't think you made any modifications to it. I didn't really look, but it's yummy. But all of the sources for all of the recipes are right there. Now,
Okay.
I'm going to cover this and put this in the refrigerator. So I want to cover it so that there isn't a skin or like a film that forms over top. So what I do more? And we'll put this in the refrigerator. Let's cover these. Then we'll chill. And I'm gonna pop them in the freezer just for context.
Okay.
All right. Now, give me 1 second. Clean up my little plate a little bit, and then we'll get started on our cookies. Now, the essence of this cookie recipe is still fairly similar to a regular cookie recipe. You have your fat. We are using coconut oil in this case. Have your fat, your sugar, which we'll blend together. We have coconut sugar, coconut oil, and then I have some almond milk and vanilla. You always need vanilla in your cookies. It just makes everything taste good.
Mhm.
I'm a very huge fan of vanilla. So I need to know, are there any health benefits to vanilla?
The question was, is there any health benefits to vanilla? I'm sure that it is, but I haven't studied that. I really haven't studied it.
That would be interesting to know though, right? So maybe
Yeah, because it comes from the vanilla beans. But the only takeaway is that it is it's a extracted, so you're not getting the full benefit of the bean, outside of it providing flavor, and the aroma is just beautiful as well.
So I just
Absolutely.
looked it up really quickly. It says people take vanilla to treat intestinal gas and fever. So that's good to know.
Really?
Mhm. Also use it to increase sexual desire as an aphrodisiac. In foods and beverages, vanilla is well-known flavoring, but it also is added to foods to reduce the amount of sugar needed for sweetening. And some people add vanilla to food to help stop tooth decay.
Mm. Okay, thank you for fact
Yes,
checking that for us.
because as I was thank you very much, and I'm sorry for putting you ladies on the spot. I was just thinking about it, like I love vanilla, and vanilla is like, you know, a great flavoring to have in all of your desserts when it's necessary. So now this recipe called for brown rice flour. So I have 2 cups of brown rice flour measured out already. And then, like I said, the basis is like the standard basis for any recipe. So to have your rise in that cookie, you know how the cookies like to plump up a little bit instead of being all nice and flat? To have that rise, you add some baking powder. So we have a teaspoon of baking powder, and then to have that nice spread, you know how cookies like spread out, you just put a little on and then it gets all nice and flat-ish. That's the baking soda. And then to make this chemical reaction work the way it's supposed to, just a little bit of salt. So we're gonna add those ingredients together to our dry ingredients. Just like with the normal cake mix, you do wet ingredients and then dry ingredients. And then you put them all together before you put your chocolate chips in. So I'm just gonna mix this a little bit and then I'll just add it all together. And you guys can definitely do this one by hand, as opposed to, it's almost as easy as a cake, like a mix, like a box mix. And that's because the oil causes you to not need any equipment to cream the sugar with the cream, or combine, I should say, the sugar with the butter or oil, with the fat that you need in this recipe. Now, I would imagine that you could also use applesauce as a substitute for the fat. But again, I was doing the recipes as they were prepared. So we have our cookies all mixed up together. And now we're gonna add our chocolate chips.
That just looks divine. I love chocolate.
I do too. I love chocolate. I really love cookies.
Are they vegan chocolate chips?
These are vegan chocolate chips. So the whole dish is vegan. And the best part is I get to enjoy it all by myself. So now I'm just going to scoop these out. Really quickly. And these cookies are only going to take 8 minutes. So I'll scoop them out and I'm going to space them at least 2 inches apart. And that's to allow for them to have that room to spread. And you certainly don't have to use a scoop if you don't have it. You can just use, what I do a lot of times is just use 2 teaspoons. And I'll scoop some up on 1 teaspoon and swipe it off with the other. That's actually the way I do it when I cook with like younger children. Give them a chance to like really feel like they're doing something. Okay, now I think I'm doing too much. These are probably spread together, but that's okay. And then we're gonna put them in my already preheated 350-degree oven for 8 minutes. And while that's cooking, we're going to do our very, very ice cream. But give me 1 second because I need to get that blender and clean up this little mess that I was made. Did you all see me spill the sugar?
You did it very gracefully.
Yeah, thank you.
You didn't miss a beat.
And you know what's funny? I had poured out some extra sugar, and I couldn't figure out why I poured out extra sugar. I guess that was why I poured out extra sugar. Because I just reached over and grabbed it. 1 second. Blender.
Karen, there was a comment in the chat about vanilla. I saw it earlier, but I cannot open my chat. Oh, now I can. The question is, would you consider vanilla a base or a neutral for flavoring any recipe?
I would let Chef
Okay.
do that
Yeah.
one.
Chef M.
I would say neutral because it doesn't really seem like it has any real characteristics to it. It almost feels, smells, and tastes like added water.
Mm-hmm.
Exception of it does give some flavor. So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if Karen feels like researching that real quick. But
I think I use it more for flavoring, to enhance flavoring.
Yeah.
I put it in definitely like, desserts, but, many times we're just following the recipes and they have it in there. But I do think out the box. I do put a little vanilla in my coffee.
Yeah,
It can definitely go into teas. I like the smell of it, and I like the taste of it as well as an enhancer.
and as Karen read, it does definitely help you to not need as much sugar.
Mhm.
Because I know I use it in my coffee as well. And it definitely does decrease the amount of sugar I even want to think to use. So I like sweet. I think I said that. That's one of the issues I deal with. I'll have something, right? So now our very, very right. So I just froze some bananas and strawberries, real easy. And then I have a cup of almond milk and just a little bit of stevia. Just a little tiny bit. Like a quarter of a teaspoon tiny bit.
Mm.
The flavors of the fruit will be, a nice, they'll be sweet enough that you shouldn't really need additional sugar. So I'm just going to take this whole thing and dump it in to my blender. And this was a cup of strawberries and 3 bananas. And I just chopped up the bananas and froze them. But again, like I said, you can definitely do it cheap because I know I've seen bags of strawberries and bananas in the grocery aisle. And then I'll have to take my very chilled almond milk, add that. I'm gonna hold off on the stevia until I taste it. I don't think my blender likes me very much. But hey, I can smell my cookies. Anytime you can smell your cookies, they are just about done. I'm gonna check them real quick. Oh my gosh, they can take one.
Dale, can I show which brand of chocolate chips that I use that are vegan?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Can I show which brand of chocolate chips that I use that are vegan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If you don't have on the full screen, you may have to scroll down to her.
Can you see it?
Um,
It's called
yeah, I see it. Is that My Life or
Enjoy Life.
Enjoy? Oh, Enjoy
Enjoy.
Life. Oh, I like that little logo with the
Yeah.
fork.
And it's free. It's gluten. It's gluten.
I can't see.
Oh, can you see it?
That's definitely the one.
Yeah, I saw it. Mhm.
It's gluten-free, wheat-free, peanut, dairy-free, casein, soy, egg, sesame, sulfite-free, free from fish, shellfish. That's crazy that chocolate would have all that. But the only ingredients are unsweetened chocolate and cane sugar. And this is the dark chocolate version.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that. Gotta look
that's
for it.
the brand that I use as well.
Mm.
And then here we have our very, very ice cream. And just scoop it out. And if this is not the what do you want to call it? The consistency you want, you can either freeze it a little longer, or you can also use less almond milk. I think you guys can tell I like this glass. This is actually like my favorite glass, even when I'm not drinking anything that these glasses are typically for. I just feel fancy when I use it. I think I'm going to pop this in the freezer for a minute. Oh no. Let me pull my cookies out. And the tartlets. Now these cookies need to set for just a minute or so. Just like normal cookies, they need to set. So, before you start to move them so that they all come together and hold.
Mhm. So in making that ice cream, if you were to make vanilla ice cream, you would just use the banana and maybe the vanilla. There was a comment about using vanilla powder. I think there's another Karen Evans had mentioned that a lot of chefs use the powder because it's more potent and it's not highly processed.
And I'm not really a fan of powders unless I make them myself. So, but I would imagine that you could definitely use a whey or like a vanilla whey powder or a protein powder in with the almond milk to make this, or even freeze the almond milk
Mm-hmm.
and then go from there. Okay.
I can see
That's
that.
why I was opening the freezer. Okay. And the ice cream is really good, by the way. I just didn't want to sit here eating it. I'm gonna do that while you guys are talking like I normally do.
Well, you are our test kitchen. So
Well, I'm gonna say that it's really good. Although I'm scared. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I'm scared to take the nuts out completely in my kitchen, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Because I wouldn't be me if I didn't.
Mm.
One second, let me grab something.
Did you use any oil or anything to coat the pan?
I did a pan spray.
Pan spray? Okay.
Yes. The
I
recipe
missed
doesn't
that.
necessarily
Mhm,
call for that, but I know my equipment and I just thought that would be best.
mhm. It should pop right out.
It should.
Mhm.
And it feels like it is.
Or you're handling that like a surgeon.
Yeah, the crust is falling apart, but not most of it. Like I have some that's like cookie crumb.
Mhm.
That's all that's left. When I moved my spoon, it fell apart though.
Okay.
I'm gonna take another one out for plating.
Mhm.
And that's my nice cookies.
That looks yummy.
Mhm.
Sometimes that rice flour can be funny to handle.
Yeah, definitely. But it's really good.
But you can use any kind of flour, correct?
Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't.
Mhm.
I know a lot of times when I make my muffins, I'll use oat flour,
Mhm.
but that's my flour of choice. This is good though.
And it seemed like it was so simple. All of them were.
That's what I wanted to show you.
Mhm.
How quick and easy you could still enjoy and fill your sweet tooth in a plant-based way.
Okay. So do you want to see the review the recipes while you put a
Yes,
little plate together for us?
yes. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm not on that screen. Oh, that's good because you weren't sharing it anyway.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't on the screen.
Um, yes, you were. I
No,
had,
I mean
and
I wasn't looking where you could
oh,
have been
okay.
perfectly where I could have seen the recipes to review.
Oh, okay. All righty. And now we're going to share the screen. Okay, recipe review.
These cookies are still too hot to handle.
Right.
I say that as I'm burning my tongue eating them because they are so. These are really good.
Mm. Well, you can't go wrong with chocolate.
This is true.
Yeah.
Or cookies.
Yes. All righty. And so
Hold
these
on,
are
I
the
gotta.
recipes.
Okay, so with the very ice cream, really simple. I took the 3 bananas, cup of berries. I chopped them up and put them in the freezer. And then I also had one. I had it's like three and a quarter to 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. And then I left out the zest of lemon because I'm just not a big fan of the tartness in my dessert. But you can definitely add it. And even then, it's just a little zest of lemon. So you would take a lemon and you would just scrape off a little peel. And then I also, for me, I left the stevia out just because I knew that these berries were really sweet and I didn't want to risk raising my blood sugar more. So I left the stevia out. But it was a really simple recipe. I added those, the berries, the bananas, the almond milk to my blender and blended them until I got, this nice, rich, creamy consistency. Now, I probably could have left out, and it's kind of hot. You got to remember, I'm standing right next to a 350-degree oven. But I have this really nice, creamy berry ice cream. That's really good.
And you would normally put it in the freezer.
Yeah, and then you can put it back in the freezer
Yeah.
as soon as you
Mhm.
or you can eat it.
Mhm.
Any questions?
I don't have a question, so I just have I do have a question for you. So you don't like key lime pie and stuff like that? That's tart?
I don't like key lime pie,
It's the
but
best.
I love lemon meringue, but I do not like key lime. You cannot pay me to eat a key lime pie.
Oh, that's funny.
Don't worry, I'll take your portion.
I know, me too. I'll fight you, Dale.
I will gladly cut in half for both you ladies. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, and then this chocolate. So we had for the base. For the base, we had pecans, macadamia nuts, and pitted dates. So we just we use the food processor to make a nice consistency, even though it fell apart. And then we just patted that down into our mold to use as the crust for this mousse tart. Then we took some cocoa powder, give it that nice chocolate taste, avocados, some really nice ripe avocados, and some maple syrup as our sweetener, a little vanilla extract, and then just a little coconut water, or you can use plain water, just to help with that blending. As you guys, saw in the beginning, it wasn't blending as well. Then I remembered that I was supposed to add something else. Sorry. Oh, and then to dress it, and I'll show you guys this for sure on the plating. Just a little sprinkle of coconut and chopped pecans rather. But we blended that. We blended the avocados, cocoa, maple syrup, vanilla all together to make a nice mousse consistency. And then we added that to on top of our tartlet filling. Our tartlet base. And then you're supposed to refrigerate it for the interest of time. I popped it in the freezer for a little bit. Probably could have stood a little bit longer in there, but it's okay. It's one of those desserts that when you're gonna eat everything all together anyway, you're gonna eat it all together anyway. So just go ahead and enjoy it. At least I know that's how I feel. So like when I do make my lemon meringue pies, I don't know if you guys know, but like there are some desserts that need to set, like cookies, or they fall apart. Well, sometimes you just can't wait. So if it falls apart, you're gonna eat it all anyway, right? Any questions, comments?
Okay.
And then for our cookies.
You're still tasting.
I'm sorry. I was trying.
That's okay.
I keep hearing
It must be delicious.
smacking, yes.
I'm sorry.
You know what? It's been a really long day, and I normally have dinner before we do these sessions, but today I didn't. So I'm just going on my little taste of lunch. And as I'm sitting here, I'm like, this is really good. Sorry. So for our cookies, we did 2 cups of brown rice flour, and as we mentioned, we put those 2 other flours. Well, we did the 2 cups of flour, and then, like I said, we had that trifecta of the baking soda, salt, and baking powder to give it that rise and that little bit of spread that we like to see in our cookies. If you would prefer like more spread, like you want your cookies to be bigger, I'm sorry, see, I'm not trying to tease you. If you prefer the spread, then cut back on the baking powder. But don't cut back on the baking soda. Don't do that. Okay, and then we had the coconut sugar and oil is our sugar and our fat for this one. So we blended all of our wet ingredients together. So that was the sugar, the oil. The basic beginnings of a cookie is creaming usually butter, but some fat and sugar together. So that's the oil and the sugar. And then we added the almond milk. You can certainly substitute flaxseed, and it's just a little milk. And that little bit of milk stands in place of an egg in a regular, in like in a traditional or non-vegan recipe. And then that little bit of vanilla, because a chocolate chip cookie is just not a chocolate chip cookie if you don't add vanilla. It just doesn't, as my older kids say, it just don't hit the same. And then you had to have the chocolate chips, otherwise you don't have chocolate chip cookies. So we put all our wet ingredients together, we put all of our dry ingredients together, and then we brought those together. And then at the end, we put our chocolate chips in. We just scooped out like a little ounce of cookie onto our parchment covered baking sheet, about 2 inches apart, to make sure that when they do spread, they don't touch. 350 degrees for about 8-9 minutes. Once you can start to smell the cookies, you want to check them, make sure that they are not overcooking. And then if they look like they're just a little too wet, leave them for maybe 1-2 more minutes. And then take them out, let them rest. And then you can have your cookies to enjoy.
Okay, so were there any other questions about desserts? And after seeing these recipes, I'm more likely to even purchase more vegan, like a vegan dessert. I'll tell you, everyone that I have tried, like you go visit someone's house and they have a vegan or a no-bake this or that, it has been delicious, and I have not been dissatisfied with it at all. But I know that I would love to have had the nutritional facts on it, and so that we can really compare, like what like a packaged chocolate chip cookie would be going up against a vegan, so far the amount of sugar and amount of fat. So that would be interesting to see.
I said that would be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just like sweet, so it's gonna matter. I don't think I'm gonna put the ice cream on this plate. I'm gonna refill it. Little cup.
I have a question.
Okay, Deborah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. For the ice cream, I see that you use bananas. Is there any substitute that you can use for bananas?
And that's the thing. I don't think that you necessarily have to do this recipe to a T. You can certainly use other fruits that are to your liking. Substitutes for bananas. Let me think.
One that comes to mind is probably a pear, but you can probably use any fruit. It's something, and maybe Karen could provide us some information. It's something about the consistency of the banana. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially when it's ripe.
What about a mango? I said, what about a mango?
Well, yeah, mango, because we have done a mango sorbet. We usually call that a sorbet, and that almost like just melts in your mouth, like it's like ice fruit. But I think, and when I'm thinking, what other fruit is close to the consistency of a banana, and that's why they use bananas a lot.
Right.
And the only thing that comes to my mind is like a pear.
I was asking because I like ice cream, but I have problems with bananas. I'm allergic to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was wondering if it's some other substitute. I know bananas would help with the consistency of it, but I was trying to figure out another.
What about pears and peach? A pear and a peach.
Okay.
I think you might be able to try the consistency of avocado because it's flavorless. It really doesn't taste good.
Okay.
It's similar mushy to a banana.
True.
have to watch that fat content and make sure and just sweeten it just right, but it might give you that consistency. The avocado with a fruit, a frozen fruit might be
Said, well, if you're going to go there, I'll put in my tofu, my firm tofu. You may have to add just a little more sweetener to it, but it definitely, tofu really doesn't have any flavor at all. It's that umami flavor, they call it. But it does help. And many times they use it in a lot of the mousse in some of the fancier restaurants. I'm told by a chef that I knew he was an executive chef down at the Hilton, and so that may be an option too. But I know that you would probably need to add more
sweetener.
Sweetener to it to get the taste that you're looking for.
Tofu would be good because you have firm tofu and you have soft tofu, and like Dale was saying, they use them with cheesecakes, also vegan cheesecakes.
I was going to ask with the avocado, would that give too much salt content, even though it's natural?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I don't think so. I would try it. Yeah, but it could be frozen. The avocado can be frozen. So that
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's I see what you mean. If it's a fresh avocado, yes, I think that would probably not work well. It would probably have to be a frozen avocado with the frozen fruit.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
In fact, I would say with all the ice cream, you would, even though it comes out nice and firm, that doesn't hold very long in room temperature. I would definitely freeze it, and to give that extra fortification and firmness.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Can you guys see the dessert?
Yes,
And I'll take pictures like I did last time.
Okay.
Oh,
All
well,
righty.
I saw it.
Okay, thank you. All righty.
Well, thank you guys for cooking with me.
Okay, so we're going to continue our discussion about superfoods for boosting your immune system.
Okay, great. Yes, so we wanted to pull from the recipe and actually talk a little bit about the benefits of the featured ingredients that were featured in this recipe. So dark chocolate, yay, dark chocolate, powerful source of antioxidants. It may improve blood flow and lower blood pressure, and it can improve brain function. So that's an awesome excuse to have chocolate. But notice it's not milk chocolate or white chocolate, it's dark chocolate. There is a difference. The dark chocolate tends to have more of the antioxidants in it. The other chocolates are processed a little bit more and have added ingredients to them. Mixed berries is another. They are loaded with antioxidants, may help improve blood sugar and insulin response. High in fiber, help fight inflammation, may lower cholesterol levels. Good for your skin and help protect against cancer. And then lastly, we have avocados. High in antioxidants, helps to prevent cancer, heals digestive orders, and lowers cholesterol and prevents heart disease. All right, we're going to continue the benefits of vitamin C, slide number 5 or the 5th benefit of vitamin C. It helps to prevent iron deficiency. So iron is an important nutrient that has a variety of functions in the body. It's essential for making red blood cells and transporting oxygen throughout the body. Vitamin C supplements can help improve the absorption of iron from the diet. Vitamin C assists in converting iron that is poorly absorbed, such as plant-based sources of iron, into a form that is easier to absorb. This is especially useful for people on a meat-free diet, as meat is a major source of iron. In fact, simply consuming 100 milligrams of vitamin C may improve iron absorption by 67%. As a result, vitamin C may help reduce the risk of anemia among people prone to iron deficiency. Okay, and then one study, 65 children with mild iron deficiency anemia were given the vitamin C supplement. Researchers found that the supplement alone helped to control their anemia. And then also, if you have low levels of iron, consuming more vitamin C rich foods or taking a vitamin C supplement may help improve your blood level iron. So this is awesome. Benefit number 6, vitamin C boosts immunity. One of the main reasons people take vitamin C supplements is to boost their immunity, as vitamin C is involved in many parts of the immune system. First, vitamin C helps encourage the production of white blood cells, which is the lymphocytes and the phagocytes, which help protect the body against infection. Second, vitamin C helps these white blood cells function more effectively while protecting from damage by potentially harmful molecules such as free radicals. Third, vitamin C is an essential part of the skin's defense system. It's actively transported to the skin where it can act as an antioxidant and help strengthen the skin's barriers. Studies have also shown that taking vitamin C may shorten wound healing time. And what's more, low vitamin C levels have been linked to poor health outcomes. For example, people who have pneumonia tend to have a lower vitamin C deficiency or vitamin C levels, and vitamin C supplements have been shown to shorten the recovery time. The seventh benefit, it also protects your memory and thinking as you age. Dementia is a broad term used to describe symptoms of poor thinking and memory. It affects over 35 million people worldwide and typically occurs among older adults. Studies suggest that oxidative stress and inflammation near the brain, spine, and nerves, altogether known as the central nervous system, can increase the risk of dementia. Vitamin C is a strong antioxidant, so low levels of this vitamin have been linked to the impaired ability to think and remember. Moreover, studies have shown that people with dementia may have lower blood levels of vitamin C. Furthermore, high vitamin C intake from food or supplements has shown to have a protective effect on thinking and memory as you age. So vitamin C supplements may aid against conditions like dementia if you don't get enough vitamin C from your diet. However, additional human studies are needed to understand the effects of vitamin C supplements on the nervous system health. All right, vitamin D, and where is that found? The body creates vitamin D from direct sunlight on the skin when outdoors. It's so important to get out when the sun is out there and get some vitamin D. But between October and early March, we do not get enough vitamin D from sunlight. We can read more about vitamin D in sunlight, but it's also found in smaller number of foods. So vitamin D is necessary for the absorption of calcium, which plays a role in maintaining bone strength and skeletal integrity. Getting enough of both of vitamin D and calcium is crucial to maintaining bone health and protecting against disorders like osteoporosis, a condition that is characterized by weak, brittle bones. Children and adults aged 1 to 70 need approximately 600 IUs of vitamin D per day. Foods that are high in vitamin D: egg yolk, salmon, herring, sardines, canned tuna, cod liver oil, mushrooms, orange juice, milk, soy milk, and oatmeal. Any questions or comments? I just wanted to make a quick comment. If you noticed, the vitamins that we talked about today are better absorbed by the assistance of something else. So for instance, iron is better absorbed when taking vitamin C, and calcium is better absorbed when taking vitamin D. So they are acting and working together. And this is why it's so important to get a variety of vitamins and minerals, a variety of fruit and vegetables, so that we can receive these benefits from the foods and or get the supplements.
Okay, and so our final remarks and thoughts. Once again, this program was brought to you by the partnership of Advocates for Community Wellness and Stonebridge Healthy Community Outreach. That's their information if you like to know more about our organizations. And the cooking component today was sponsored by Cooking Canvas. She purchased the groceries to do the cooking demo. In fact, throughout the all 3-part series she did. And just a friendly reminder about COVID pandemic, COVID-19, that we're still in a pandemic. Having a conversation, they said that we're going to be in this for a little while longer, maybe, not maybe, but it probably would go into 2022. But what we are all promoting is that we want to be safe. Still wear a mask when you're out in public, wash your hands often, be mindful of the distance when you're out in public. And right now they're still advising to avoid large gatherings, especially with people you do not know. It's stated that if everyone, like all my family member, immediate family member has been vaccinated. And so now we feel comfortable that when we come together, we don't have to wear a mask. And that is if no one is sick or sneezing or coughing. And so take that guideline, but if I'm in a crowd that I don't know people, I will be wearing my mask and watching my distance. Okay. Like to extend an invitation to you to come out and join me in a discussion about honoring your spiritual and emotional journey through cancer. It is tomorrow, hosted by Wellness House. I sent out a personal invitation to everyone. You should have received it. And if you know of anyone that's have had cancer or is in the fight of cancer, please share the information with them. Also, Stonebridge Healthy Community Initiative is having a function. Ollie or Karen, do you want to share information about the walk?
I can actually talk about that one, deal. That's my baby.
Okay.
To say. So we are having a 15K virtual challenge. You can walk, run, bike, however you choose. There is a it is a fundraiser for our organization. So there is a nominal fee to join to participate, but you have, even though it's already started, registration is continuing until June 4th. You will receive a t-shirt, a race medal, a nice little carry water bottle, and it's one other thing I'm forgetting. Oh, and a certificate for your participation. So it is not required that you also be a fundraiser to participate in the walk. And our goal is just to get people out and moving to, enjoy the weather and start walking off some weight.
All righty. Okay, and so we want to remind you of our next series in May 12, 19, and 26. We're going to go back to our normal morning afternoon slot from 11 to 12:30. You will be receiving an invitation to register. And just a reminder, for each series, you need to register, and all you have to do is register once, and then you will be connected and will get all of the videos for the segments. Okay. Advocates in Stonebridge are nonprofits. We need your help. We need your help to really continue of what we're doing. We bring the program to you at no cost, but it definitely costs the organizations, both organizations, to put this forum together. And our mission is strictly to improving eating habits for a healthier you. And when we're healthier, our families are healthier, our communities are healthier. And this helps us to live more of a quality life and a longer life. So if you were invited by advocates, you would send your donations to Advocates for Community Wellness at A4CW.org/donate. If you were invited to this forum by Stonebridge, you would go to stonebridgehealthycommunity.org/support us. Okay, and I want to add that no donation is too small. You can even apply your donation and be anonymous. $3, $5, $10, whatever is in your heart, you would definitely be helping our organizations and to show that you support it. All righty, I want to thank you for joining us today. And it's exactly 7:30 too. And if you'd like to hear more about what we do, my contact information is here, and you can definitely get it off of the emails that are sent out. Okay, we thank you for joining us. My time is up, and I thank you for yours. Have a good evening.